So thank you for joining us this evening for our sixth series of Bamboo Talk tonight. So I'm Jing Han from University Tunku Abdul Rahman, will be your moderator this evening. So this Bamboo Talk series is an event co-organized by University Tunku Abdul Rahman together with South China University of Technology, Nansha Bird Park, and supported by PAM, Malaysia Bamboo Society, MASA, and COSA. So this event is actually in conjunctions with the current competitions at national levels happening in Malaysia, 2021 Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area Associations of Southeast Asia Nations International Colleges Design and Construction Competition. And the theme for this year competition is Bamboo Art Space Inspired by Traditional Art and Craft. This competition is open to all public and private university in Malaysia. So all of you from the tertiary levels feel free to join the competitions, and the deadline is on this coming 30th of August 2021. So today it is our privilege and honors to have architect Eugene with us to give his topic on better bamboo buildings. So a brief introductions about architect Eugene. He has over 30 years of experience in architecture and master planning, having practiced in England, Southeast Asia, and Australia. Eugene has based in Bali since 2015, initially as a lead architect at Ibuku, and subsequently running his own 1010 design bamboo projects from 2018. He has been actively promoting bamboo fire talks, workshops in Bamboo Bali since 2016, and recently further advocating bamboo and architectural design teaching within organizations and universities in Asia. So after the talk, feel free to ask any questions to architect Eugene. And without further ado, I would like to invite architect Eugene to give his talk today about better bamboo buildings. Please welcome architect Eugene.
Thank you, Ms. Bay. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for inviting me for this talk. I will be brief and go straight to my talk because I think I want to allow more time for questions at the end. So let me just go ahead and start. Is that okay?
Yes, that would be great.
Thank you. Thank you. So my talk is in 4 parts, and I will begin. This is actually a picture of a tree house in front of my bamboo house in Bali. It's a small little tree house facing a stream near Ubud in Bali, completed in about 2018. But I would like to really start with showing you 3 buildings, 3 prominent and influential bamboo buildings. You can see them there. And the first one is, oops, sorry about that. I'm just trying to. The first building is Heart of School. So Heart of School is in Ubud in Bali, and it was completed in 2009. It is a massive building. At its tallest, it is 20 meters tall, and it uses more than 2,500 bamboo poles, right? It's a big building. If you look at the structure, it is basically it's a helical bamboo roof, and it is connecting 3 helical bamboo roofs into one building, and it's huge. It is the center of the Green School. If you're not familiar with the Green School, go ahead and Google it. It is really the school of the future, where students are really in touch with nature. There are more than 50 buildings in this school, and the heart of school is the center of it all. I chose this building because it really started bamboo off in Bali. John Hardy, through learning from Linda Garland, just after 2000 plus, which is about 20 years ago, started getting interested in bamboo and wanted to build this school. And this is one of the biggest buildings, one of the biggest bamboo buildings there is up to today. Basic bamboo treatment was started as well. And all the bamboo that you see here, the major bamboo that you see here, is already still there after so many years because it's been treated properly, right? The next building is done by Chiang Mai Life Construction by Marcus. This is a sports hall in Chiang Mai. It is a very interesting building. And like the heart of school in Bali, this building also engages the community. It is part of an international school, but it is built by refugees from Myanmar, right, who are artisans who came to Thailand, and Marcus brought them in, used some of their skills together to build the many buildings you see in this international school. It uses a truss system, and I chose it because it uses specifically Thai bamboo, which is not very big diameter, not very large diameter, but thin diameter bamboo, and combines it in a very unique way. It bundles it up. You can see in the corner here, it bundles it up and then uses its strength to make arches, right? And you get beautiful spaces like that. The building is tall, right? It's more than 15 meters and 20 over meters wide. And it's a beautiful building. I've been there to see it, and it's great. Very good structural system as well, and a beautiful space. The third building is from Vo Trong Nya, another prominent early bamboo architect. Not all his work is in bamboo, but his works, his bamboo works are amazing. Vo Trong Nya also uses bamboo in a very unique way. He uses thin Vietnamese bamboo and combines them. He bundles them and makes, usually he works in units. This one is almost like a truss unit that is rotated around its center to form this tiered dome, right? This amazing dome, if you look at it here. It is about 20 meters tall. For a bamboo building, that's quite a great achievement of an open space. Just again, elaborating what I've said, where you look at the size of the bamboo, it is about 5 cm. And combining the bamboo, bundling it up, gives you strength. What are the things you notice about this? There are not many straight lines, right? The building uses bamboo the way it should be, right? It doesn't make it pretend to be steel or timber, right? I'll say it again. The building uses bamboo the way it should be, not pretending to be timber or steel. Yeah, something that you should take note of. So a bit about my journey. I did a lot of conventional work in the early years. In fact, for many years in England, in Australia, and in Malaysia, and of course in other countries as well in Southeast Asia, and quite a lot of master planning as well. But I got into bamboo in 2015 by joining Ibuku as lead architect. It changed my career, it changed my life. the way bamboo makes you think differently. If you just look at the pictures here, you can see that it is not a conventional work in an aircon box architect pushing a mouse, right? It is very different. It is leading a team, the Ibuku team, for nearly 4 years on this trip. Really a huge learning curve, a very interesting and challenging learning curve in bamboo. Working with clients that are really sustainable minded and wanted to really support bamboo and bring bamboo up. So I'll go through some of my projects. I started off with this project, which is an interesting school in Sumba. Sumba is an Indonesian island. This project, I helped master plan as well. There's like about 20 bamboo buildings that house a hospitality school. I talked about Green School, which had 50 over buildings. This is Green Village. Green Village, again by Ibuku, had at least, now it has about 25 buildings, right? All really buildings, residential buildings that house a lot of originally people from Green School, right? Families and parents from Green School. It really brought bamboo to a high level. What you can do with bamboo as opposed to just building an atap hut. It became a more luxury item, which was very interesting. And you can see some of the buildings in Green Village. Sharma Springs, I think a lot of you would have seen and know about. I was involved towards the end of it and also doing renovations and maintenance for this building. It's an amazing flagship building. Have a look at it on Arc Daily. Arc Daily has got a good write-up on it and nice drawings as well. I also work on this one, which is a house for a graphic designer, a British graphic designer. Just a simple house, but beautifully done. One of the really challenging projects was to ship bamboo from Bali all the way to Africa, Principe in Africa, and also all the way to the Maldives to do projects. The challenge wasn't just shipping the bamboo, but the challenge was bringing workers, a team of 10 from Bali, all over to these countries to build these two buildings. One was a pool bar and the other one was a restaurant. The logistics, the politics, but it all got done. And there was a lot of useful experience gained trying to build bamboo overseas, exporting skills, exporting construction methods as well, and teaching the locals in some cases. In the Green School, I was also involved in these 3 classrooms. You can see here leaf-shaped classrooms, which were done very, very quickly during the wet season as well. So it's quite challenging. And also this science lab. Most of Ibuku's buildings are very much organic shape, right? You hardly find any box-shaped buildings, more using curves, the curves of bamboo. So that was a good time, good learning time. I left Ibuku and started on my own. And towards the end of Ibuku, we managed to finish this house, which I had a chance to design a house, construct it and live in it, a full bamboo house. So it is good to be able to speak from experience, to really learn from mistakes about building with bamboo. This house is in Ubud, in Bali. It is open-sided, right? There are no windows. You can see there are no windows and hardly any doors. Doors are only to the storerooms, and everything is free-flowing, cross-ventilated, and passively designed. The tree house is also next to this house, next to Kamsia house. It is like a guest house or a retreat meditation area. And it is designed to sit in between 3 trees. And the sleeping quarters are up on this floor here. The roof is a fabric roof. It is a umbrella roof. Some of you will be asking, but I'll answer it now. It's a umbrella roof, and it was designed to take a grass thatch roof, which we'll be putting on in the next few months once the restrictions ease. This one, some of you may have seen at Clef in 2019. It was a demonstration building that was done at APW in Bangsa. Have a look, have a visit if you are in KL, APW in Bangsa. It is still there, it is still standing and still good, still in good condition. Again, bringing Balinese workers in to be able to build this in 5 days, quite a challenge, but good as well, doing a series of talks and demonstrations. I also do a lot of university talks and also workshops, this one being in Singapore, one live where they are face-to-face and another one online after that. This villa project was recently completed last year with an architect friend, Javier Diaz, in Bali. It's a little villa development of 5 bamboo buildings. And we are working on this restaurant. It's a restaurant to an orangutan sanctuary. It is signature restaurant really to earn them money. People who come and visit and learn about orangutan can eat here. And this is under detailed design at the moment with a group from Medan. In Malaysia, we are trying to build this bridge. We are looking for sponsorship and funding to build this bridge at Keramat. This bridge links 2 villages and takes from one side of the bridge to be able to access to a market as well. It's 30 meters span, which is quite a wide span for a bridge, let alone a bamboo bridge. So we're looking forward to getting funds and then trying to complete the detailed design and build it. I also work actively with EPIC. Some of you may be listening in, EPIC people, hello. EPIC do a lot of work for the Orang Asli. They, through the years, have crafted very good designs that work and be put together by other materials like steel, timber, and metal sheet. But my work with them is trying to help them to also improve some of their design systems. Not only that, but to try and bring in bamboo into their work. And this is some of the work that we're looking at, like a homestay building built from bamboo, which is coming onto the cards, I hope, soon. I also work with this guy called Daniel. Daniel is a young man that's also actively involved in helping the Orang Asli. He has got a social enterprise called Discover Native, and also this thing called Biji Buah Durian, right? He sells durians that Orang Asli harvest. So get on and order from him. I think it's coming to the end of the durian season now, so you can still order from them. Biji Buah Durian, Google them. We are looking at also doing homestays for the Orang Asli, where we build with them a bamboo building, something like that, as you can see. And people can come in and stay for the weekend and immerse in the Orang Asli lifestyle. I also want to talk about some essentials for bamboo buildings in my journey. 3 essentials, okay? The first one is really to learn and apply preventive design. I call it preventive design. Bamboo doesn't last long when it's exposed to sun, to rain, or to bugs. So be sure to treat, make sure your bamboo, whatever you use, is treated, right? And treat it with the right methods. Don't compromise and use traditional methods. If the project is an important one and the project is a commercial one, or you have a client, use borax and boric acid. That is the go-to method for now, right? To ensure that your bamboo doesn't get eaten by bugs, right? Lift the bamboo off the ground. right? Protect the bamboo by lifting it off the ground on a pedestal, on a stone, or a plinth, right? Try to keep off the rain and the sunlight from the bamboo, right? What does that mean? That means steep roofs, steep roof pitches, and generous overhangs, right? Throw the water away. Don't let the sun hit the bamboo if you can help it. Constantly check and maintain your bamboo building, right? If you don't do that, it's going to rot, it's going to deteriorate like anything natural, right? So keep your maintenance checks constant. Watch out for damp areas. Ventilate the buildings. Let the air flow through. Design your buildings such that there's airflow. Use something called the stack effect. The stack effect, which is hot air rising and pulling air across your buildings, right? With passive design. That helps then to air your bamboo. I hope this is going through to you guys. The second thing is something I mentioned before. Use bamboo as bamboo, right? Designed to align with bamboo and not against it. Meaning, when you work with bamboo, you need to press the reset button. You are not working with steel or timber, right? You're working with bamboo. So work with bamboo. Bamboo cannot work with timber joints or steel joints. Bamboo has got its own way to go with it, right? So learn about its properties and work along with it. That is very important, especially if you are starting out. A lot of participants in my course, which I'll mention later, start off with preset ideas, right? They don't reset, they preset and try to bring in preconceived steel, timber, or concrete detailing into their bamboo buildings. It doesn't work with bamboo buildings. Very rarely does it work. So look at precedent, look at successful bamboo buildings, ones that I've shown you before. How is it done and why are they doing it? Study that and find out and use things that are successful. Work along with bamboo. The last one I'm going to try and convey to you is to prioritize socialization and compliance. That is a difficulty in many countries which want to start up in bamboo, right? People are not ready to because they don't know much or enough about bamboo, especially the authorities and approval officers, right? This is where we all get stuck. Architects are reluctant to design bamboo buildings because they are worried they cannot get them approved, right? And there is a need in every country to start adopting the ISO documents that are already there in bamboo. They're starting. Take the Philippines, right? A new ISO standard has come up for 2-story bamboo buildings, frame buildings, but it's a start, right? Look at the ISO standards and try and get them adopted in your country. Socialize bamboo with the officers. Show them precedent, what has been built, 6 stories, 4 stories. All that has been engineered, proven, even in cyclonic and earthquake areas, right? If that can be done successfully in Indonesia, in Thailand, in Vietnam, and even in Fiji, it can be done in Malaysia. It just needs more work, more socialization, and a lot more, I guess, proving to them that it's been done elsewhere, right? So those were the 3 main essentials. There are more, but these are the main ones that we should take into account. During lockdown in Melbourne, I'm in Melbourne now instead of Bali. I've been here for nearly a year and a half. I just want to share with you a few things. 4 things, right? I started a new Instagram account called Better Bamboo Buildings. Please look me up at Better Bamboo Buildings on Instagram. It is a platform for bamboo design insights where we share what to do in bamboo, what not to do. We share articles and information. From that Instagram account, I went on to start a blog. This blog is now coming up to 1 year old. It's got more than 30 articles on it. Come on it, www.betterbamboobuildings.com. Read about quite a lot of articles, bamboo design related articles. Have a look at it. From that blog, went to start a course, Designing Better Bamboo Buildings course. And this is now on its third course. We are halfway through the third course. The fourth course is starting in mid-October to December. It is 8 weeks of learning how to design better bamboo buildings. It is a course that helps me to share what I've learned, what I'm still learning. I learn every day about bamboo, and people from many, many countries. The last course had, out of 25 people, 14 countries. So that was quite interesting, but quite a lot from Southeast Asia. From this course, I was kindly invited to write a book, a bamboo architecture book. This book features 30 bamboo buildings. Give you an example of just one of the bamboo buildings. This is from Chiang Mai Life Construction, a little cooking school. We feature buildings of interest. We look at them from the point of view of the structure, how the structure is made, because that's very important, right? With bamboo, the structure is almost the architecture, right? How the bones are forms the building. It hasn't got many, many layers of other materials covering it up, but bamboo comes out and speaks to you. Here it is, some structural analysis. We talk about what bamboo is used and why. Some excellent photos in the book, and systems and methods and details. So there you are. In short, that's my talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect Eugene, for sharing us all your wonderful project. So actually, I like your quote very much, to use the way the bamboo it should be, and not to pretend to be the timber or steel. So this is the way that how we need to actually work with the mother of nature. So especially in this case, when we deal with the bamboo, then as you say, we shall respect the characteristic of bamboo, and then respect the nature of it, and then accept its features, how it is. And this is the intrinsic when designing with the bamboo. Okay, so I have particular questions to you. Actually, just now when I look at your orangutan heaven, okay, that project, how is your design forms actually inspiring from? Now I see that is a very impressive form.
I think simplistically, the design is like petals of a flower. So it started off with the main dining area being the different petals. I think there are about 6 petals. Eventually it became 7 because of the spaces. So each petal of the flower is one actual space, and the center of it all is the main dining hall. At the center of it all, we used a very old durian tree that was about to be cut down. I said, don't cut the tree at the site, because we were visiting it. I said, hold on, and after you cut it, treat the tree, right? Treat it the same way as you treat bamboo, and keep the trunk for me. The trunk was about 12 meters tall. So now they have the trunk ready, and we're going to use it as the center tower for the whole flower. All right, it becomes the almost like a stamen to it. So that's how the shape generated. And then the whole other buildings were planned around the site, obviously.
Right. Interesting. So that's the flower petals is actually inspired and generated from the local flora.
It's not really, I don't pretend to use a particular one, but it just came up as a shape when we start to sketch and design, it came up that way. And I thought, yeah, I just use petals and then try and replicate it. That's how it came about.
Right. Okay. So I think I will move on to the questions for you, Eugene. So
Sure.
okay, so we'll start with questions from architect Adrianta. So he has two questions. Number one, does the bamboo lose its form or shape after a while? And question
Good,
number two.
fantastic question.
Sure.
Can I answer that one first?
Sure.
If you treat bamboo well, or first of all, sorry, go backwards. If you harvest bamboo at the right time and well, and if you treat it and season it well, which means it is dry, right? And there's no more starch in it, it will not shrink, it will not crack, it will not change its shape that much. In other words, the diameter and its length does not vary substantially that you can visually see it. Okay? But remember this, bamboo is hygroscopic, meaning moisture can move in and out of it and change its size, right? And composition. So if you expose it to a damp area, it can absorb moisture and sometimes lead to rot, because if it goes to over 80% all the time inside the bamboo, then the bamboo can rot, right? That's the only way, and we have to be careful of that.
All right, understand. So question number two, please share with us on LCA, which is a life cycle assessment or analysis on bamboo products.
Wow. Yeah, I need the question to be more specific. I mean, by bamboo products, what is that meant to be, right?
I think probably the life cycle assessment, so we can direct it to the bamboo structures of the bamboo building that you show in your presentation slides just now.
Okay. I put the question in a different way, if you don't mind, Architect Adriana. I put it as, how long does a bamboo building last? Can I shift the question a bit? That's a very common question I get, right? How long does a bamboo building or a bamboo product last? Yeah, is that okay?
Is that okay?
Sure. Can. Sure.
My usual answer is that if everything is done right, it can last a lifetime. A lot of bamboo proponents are using that. And by a lifetime, we mean 30 to 50 years, okay? Most buildings nowadays need only to have a warranty period of what, 25 years, right? But if you design a bamboo building well, it can last a long time. I would say at least 30 years, usually more. Some of the older bamboo buildings you see, even in Malaysia, they are built bamboo mosques, that bamboo within the mosque, in a bamboo mosque, that's more than, I think, 40 years now. In China and Japan, there are bamboo buildings that are like 100 over years old or more. Okay.
Okay. Now we move on to the next one. From Mr. Sebastian Xiao. Do you engage an engineer to verify your design? And how to prevent the moisture to go over 80%? Sorry.
Okay. The first question is that I would say no and yes. No to simple buildings that you can do, right? Where you do not need engineering calculations. Simple single-story buildings, you do not need them. Yes to buildings that are more complicated, buildings that you are doing for someone as a commission, then Yes, get a bamboo engineer. A bamboo engineer means an engineer that is able to show you that he has worked with bamboo buildings before, designed them with a designer, calculated it under different conditions, and sign off on it. Okay, there are not many in Malaysia at the moment, but eventually there will be. Like in Thailand, in Indonesia, there are engineers that specialize in bamboo structural engineering already. And soon, if you're an engineer now here, this is a good field to be in. If you want a niche, this is a good field. So the answer is yes to that. Get an engineer if your building is going to be for someone else or where public is going to use it. Yes, please. That's the only way also to get bamboo to be approved by someone in the authorities. If you want to get a building permit or building plan approved, you need engineering compliance to show that it can stand up, right, under certain conditions. Moisture and bamboo, how to keep it out. If you have an area that has dry and wet and dry seasons, during the wet season, it is a challenge because the humidity goes up significantly, right? The only usual way that we can avoid this is to coat the bamboo, right? Everyone coats it with at least a polyurethane finish, almost sealing the bamboo so that the moisture doesn't move in and out of it. If you do not do that, then the bamboo gets, what do you call it? It's like a blotting paper, right? It soaks it, it brings it out, it soaks it, it brings it out, and it's not going to last, right? So coating it helps to reduce this moisture egress and ingress, right?
Understand. Right. So followed by Jamora, do we have a directory of other building consultants such as engineers?
Not in Malaysia, but within the world, there are a few countries that already have bamboo engineers. We're not in a directory because I can count them on a few fingers, the good ones at least. They are hard to come by, those that are. But if you have a building that needs engineering, I normally like to see it first and see, okay, show me your building and I'll tell you whether it needs an engineer, and if so, which engineer, and I can recommend it, right? I think that'd be the best way.
Okay, so from Chin Min, he would like to ask, how do you envision the development of bamboo in Southeast Asia countries? Does it have the potential to be the primary construction material in future, even replacing concrete and steel? Or the property of bamboo actually limits its usage to rural or low-cost development?
Wow, that is a deep question. It take me 20 minutes to answer that, but I'll try to be brief. Bamboo is rising, right? It is re-emerging as a material. How far it goes, we don't know. It will go probably as far as timber and steel. It will rise faster than timber and steel. But the extent of which timber is adopted is hard to say. At the moment, even we are talking about engineered bamboo, and is going places, right? Is being put into cars, is being put into spaceships, bikes, sports equipment as a material. If you're talking about full count bamboo, meaning non-engineered, you're using bamboo as a pole, it may not go as far, but it will become mainstream. Here in Melbourne, you can buy a bamboo pole 2 meters in a hardware shop in Bunnings, right? You still cannot do that in KL. Eventually, you'll be able to buy bamboo beams, bamboo planks, bamboo whatever, same as in a hardware shop, beside timber, beside steel. That will happen. It's only a matter of time. In Bali, I can go take my motorbike to a hardware shop and order some bamboo, right? It'll come straight away, following me on the bike. This is treated proper bamboo, right? That may happen soon in many Southeast Asian countries. It is already happening in Thailand, in Vietnam, in the Philippines, in a big way. And so much bamboo is being planted. I'm sure from the other talks, you get figures about how much bamboo is being planted all over the place, right? How far it goes depends on you guys. How far do you want to promote bamboo? And if you're passionate about it and you work with it, you know that it can go quite far. Especially when you talk about recent reports of climate change, of zero carbon targets. Exactly how far, I don't know, I cannot tell. But I worked in advocating for it and pushing for it.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So he is actually also following up, asking whether the property of the bamboo will limit the usage in rural area or low-cost development.
Okay, this is something I really like to answer because this is one of the things that is disturbing me a lot, okay? When we design bamboo in a simplistic way, let's all design it right, okay? Look online. I tell all the participants of my course, right? Out of 10 bamboo buildings, new bamboo buildings you see online, 6 are not designed in the right way. 6 or 7 are designed to fail. Why? The bamboo is not protected. The bamboo is left open to the sun. There is not enough overhangs. The bamboo is made beautiful and sexy, but not protected. What happens? In 2 years, the bamboo is silvering.
4个女人在夜里的街道上被谋杀，作案手法完全一样。但是奇怪的是，凶手既非抢钱，又非劫色，这让警方不能下手的地方是，案发现场都没有任何有用的线索。这说明罪犯的反侦查手段十分的恶劣，那么就显得巴黎的警察
Mr. Tan, your HOD, Pulut.
女人都
Your HOD, yeah, your HOD.
Mr. Tan. Okay.
So, yeah, let me continue.
Please, please.
We need to ensure any buildings, especially the low-cost ones, are designed in the right way, right? In Bangladesh at the moment, guess how many bamboo shacks or buildings there are, right? There are 70 million bamboo shacks in Bangladesh, right? For poor people that it's put together by grabbing bamboo poles in the forest and then combining them with other things. But all this bamboo is sacrificial. They need to change it every season because the bamboo rots or gets eaten by insects. That is not the way for bamboo to go. We have to figure out a way to make bamboo last, right? So that its name is then protected, right? It cannot be the poor man's timber. You hear this term very often, the poor man's timber. It has to move from the poor man's timber to the next material that we use, but we use it in a smarter way. If we can do that, then we'll avoid this image of bamboo being our great-grandfather's bamboo is like, I got to replace my bamboo every season because it's rotten. Well, it's rotten because we haven't placed the bamboo properly. We haven't designed our buildings in the right way. Yeah, so that is a pretty important point that every one of you should know, right? It's a very basic point. It's like going into the mud without wearing slippers, right? So please wear your slippers before going into the mud.
Right. The treatment is important.
Treatment and designing it. How do you design your buildings, your installations, so that the bamboo is protected, not exposed? Treating your bamboo is the first thing, right? But before that, harvesting your bamboo properly is even more important, right? Has anyone talked about harvesting yet in these lectures? No. So harvesting, you cannot harvest bamboo at any old time. You cannot go and just cut the bamboo, right? You have to make sure it is not during the full moon. You have to make sure that it's just after the rainy season because of the starch content in the bamboo. right? All this we can learn and we can teach. So it's not a big problem, but it needs to be, awareness needs to be created with the harvesters. Some harvesters will harvest the whole clump, right? That means the death of the bamboo clump, right? If you harvest in a careful way, only on the outside and some on the inside, the shoots will come out again the next wet season. A bamboo clump can last 100 years. Imagine that. A tree cannot last 100 years. A tree can last 50 years, but once you cut the tree down, sayonara, the tree is gone. You start again from zero, right? A bamboo clump keeps producing 6 to 7 poles after every wet season, right? Consecutively for 100 years, every year, sometimes twice a year, if you harvest carefully and maintain your clump.
Understand. So it's a truly sustainable materials in this sense.
Depends on your point of view, but I think so.
So followed by N. So N is asking, you mentioned harvesting bamboo at the right time. Do you mind elaborating it? Okay, so I think, so you want to add on, Eugene?
Not really. I think you refer to certain publications. Look at this publication by Arif Rabik, A-R-I-E-F. I cannot type here, but Arif Rabik. It is from the Bamboo Environmental Foundation, I think it's called, right? Arif is based in Bali. He writes a very good book about the silviculture of bamboo. How do you take care of bamboo, right? How do you harvest? How do you treat it? So maybe you can share that, Jing Han, with the rest of you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Issue. So follow.
Because I'm not a growing and harvesting specialist as well.
Suvin is asking, how do you detail the interface between the bamboo pole with other materials, such as bamboo stone, concrete footings? Do you use both types? I have seen bamboo structure with metal screws.
Okay, so in bamboo building design, one of the most critical areas is the joint, right? When you start joining bamboo, that's where it can either succeed or fail, especially in earthquake areas. Earthquake areas will require special detailing, but let's talk about normal bamboo jointing. When you join a piece of bamboo, think of it as a pipe. You're joining a pipe to another pipe, meaning hollow to hollow. You only have walls, right? So when two hollows collide perpendicularly, you cannot fix it like a timber joint where you can make a dowel joint, you can make a dovetail joint or whatever joint you want, shiplap joint, and it's going to last. It doesn't happen with bamboo, because once you cut bamboo into a groove, it weakens it. And when you join the two, it tends to crack and fail. All right, because bamboo cracks along its lateral line. It's got vascular bundles all parallel moving up the bamboo. And when you push in something like a screw or a nail, it splits the bamboo. So think about how you can make a good joint bamboo to bamboo. One of the ways is by lashing, meaning time. Other ways is by filling the bamboo with something solid, right? It can be timber, it can be even mortar, cement to make it solid, and then you join it either with pegs or steel bolts with screws, right? There are many ways of joining bamboo. Look up Gua Dua bamboo and joints, bamboo joints under Gua Dua bamboo. That will give you the basics of bamboo jointing. They have many sketches and descriptions of bamboo joints.
How to spell it?
It is a big topic in itself, bamboo jointing, because it's so important, right? That I cannot really sort of go that long on it. But you need to do your own research.
Right. Eugene, the Gua Dua you mentioned, how to spell it? G-U-A.
D-U-A. Gua Dua Bamboo.
All right. So we'll move on to Norina. So Norina need to know, how do one get workers and builders in Malaysia to build using bamboo? If any, is there any in construction directory?
Okay, in Malaysia, I think there were a lot of Indonesian workers that came over to help build some of the buildings that you see, right? In fact, nearly all of them are built by either Balinese or Javanese bamboo artisans that came over to help and also train the locals as well. There are some that stayed behind and are around, so you can find them, but they are very hard to find. But there are also some groups of workers that can do it, although not as skillful yet, right? This is where it is sadly lacking in many countries. The creative and artistic skills are almost gone. Everyone is learning how to push a mouse or do something else, right? Instead of making a fish mouth joint. That is lost, right? The art of using the knife. Surprisingly, in Indonesia, that is not lost. That has been sort of building up and returning. So this skill in Malaysia, I think it only remains with the Orang Asli. There are a few carpenters that can do it even right now. So it's a skill that needs to be encouraged and built up again by either reintroducing workers from overseas to train. Some of my projects in Malaysia has to do that. I have to bring in people at the right time and then to transfer the skills to specific workers that we would have identified first, and then they become a team. A team of a SWAT team of bamboo workers is 10 people. That's how the Balinese work. 10 people, each with its own specific skills, like a SWAT team, to form a bamboo team. And we need to do that. We need to start teaching our people in Malaysia how that is done. Maybe in our own way eventually, but we need to start.
Thank you, Eugene, for the response. And followed by Madam Azrina. So she asking, how is bamboo certified for use? Who does it? And what are the types of certifications that may come with it for use of construction?
I think I refer to the ISO standards again. Eventually, I can see the ISO being adopted in Malaysia in line with SIRIM, right, to get a bamboo standard. Eventually, there will be a Malaysian bamboo standard in a few years' time. I don't know how long, but I urge you to look at the Philippines and how they are developing, right? They have started their own treatment plant. They've got very good bamboo affordable housing being prompted by foundations there. They're building hundreds of bamboo houses with cement. Look up Base Bahay, BASE BAHAY, Base Bahay Housing. It's interesting, it's by the Hilti Foundation, really good social housing, and it's a start. It's a start, and eventually this will lead to better things. From single story, now they're going to double story houses as well. And everything is certified, ISO, tested, and regulated.
Right. Okay. So Abraham is asking, I got 2 questions for you. So number 1, you say you live in the bamboo house before. It's comfortable to live without closed enclosure? Number 2, if yes, could you share your thought to expand or engage people in the future to build house from bamboo as their first choice material?
Okay. Of course, it's comfortable to live on the 23rd floor of a condominium with air conditioned with a lift. You step in your car, come out, air conditioned into a lobby, air conditioned lift into your air conditioned house. Very sterile, wonderful. No argument about that. 90% of the population do that. Yeah. What I'm talking about is living in a natural house, as natural as you can get. Free oxygen in Bali, oxygen streaming down from a river valley, all green. You wake up, you're already high. For me, this is from my experience, straight up, right? You wake up to the sound of birds, not cars on the road. You occasionally get, of course, in nature, you get disturbed by monkeys coming for a raid from the town to look for food because their environment is being developed out. You get snakes coming to visit now and then because they're looking for water during the dry season. You get mosquito hour at 5 to 6 o'clock when they come out to feed. But as with nature, you have to be flexible. You have to respect each other and work within your boundaries. So living in a bamboo house is good, but it is compromise as well. You have to give and take. Nothing is perfect. Living in a condo is not perfect either. So there is an article about living in a bamboo house on my blog, right? It says, I want a bamboo house. Look it up. I write about it there. I share some thoughts about it there on living in a bamboo house. If you are an urban person, of course, it's harder. But if you like nature, if you want to use more sustainable materials and less carbon embodied materials, then bamboo is one of the ways to do it. Read about it more and find out more. I cannot convince you. You have to convince yourself and look at it from the point of view of the health of the planet, if you are that way inclined. Yeah.
Right. Thanks. So followed by Ashish. So he's saying you have a fantastic presentation. And then he wanted to know what is the thumb of rule for use bamboo as structural element in construction. The thumbs of rules.
The rule of thumb of bamboo. Wow, that's a good one. I think what I would say is this: learn about the bamboo species that is around your area, right? Find out what bamboo species is available. Find out whether they are suitable for construction, first of all. If they are, find out how you can treat them so that they can last. Once you've reached that stage, learn how to design with that particular species. May it be thick petong or betong in Malaysia, giant bamboo, or thin asper or apis, right? Which is tali in Indonesia and Malaysia. How do you use that particular bamboo to make the design you want, right? While protecting the bamboo. Structurally, as you learn, it is a learning process. You will know. You will know sometimes by gut feel that you don't need one pole, but you need two poles, right? To support. And if it's a beam, you may need two poles, sometimes side by side, or sometimes one on top of the other. Bamboo, the bamboo is an interesting thing where you can break down the bamboo into different parts. You can have bamboo splits, meaning strips, right? Or laths. You can have bamboo rods, and you can combine them in a very interesting way to form beams that curve, to form straight elements if you want, but curve is obviously nicer in bamboo. From bamboo, you can make flattened shingles that you can use for anything: walls, floors, roofs. Maybe we will not see it, but in the generations when the world is really depleted, what other material can you go for? You may be able to go for recycled materials that are around. When you see some of these world-ending movies that you see people then take up and repurpose materials. But bamboo is there. Bamboo can grow in many conditions and it is available. I have clients who are setting up their own insurance plan, right? They buy land, they plant bamboo, and they are designing their end of time house, right? Where they want to survive without any urban conveniences, right? No electricity, no water. They want to protect themselves. They want to have their own community that can be self-sufficient. Why are they doing this? Because they're thinking ahead.
Right. Thanks, Eugene. So another one from Dadan. So he's asking, the construction cost of those great bamboo houses area actually a lot higher than the average concrete houses per square meter. Why so? And how could we promote bamboo if it is really that costly?
Apa kabar, Pak Dadan? Thank you for your question. You're putting me in a tough spot. Dadan is a friend of mine. Yes, what you get from beautiful bamboo buildings is luxurious prices. It shows how far bamboo can go. At the same time, if we are talking about middlemen or middle standard or normal bamboo, I think we can achieve good prices, competitive prices that are equal or better than timber or steel or concrete, right? We can achieve that. At the moment, we may not, because the problem is labor. I think in Malaysia, the problem from some of my projects, from my experience, is the labor cost is tremendous. You cannot find anyone, even if you can pay, you cannot find anyone to do it. It's creating this industry, it's birthing an industry from start. One way out of it, I can see, is prefabrication. There are organizations that are starting this up. This organization called SEED, S-E-A-D, by Hua Jie. Hua Jie, I think, talked already, right? Has he talked yet?
The talk from Hua Jie and Dr. Low will be on next week, next Friday.
So listen to him. He is the designer or head architect for that organization that does end-to-end bamboo provision. It is a group that I am really fond of and support. They really are going to go somewhere in Malaysia in bamboo. I know that for sure. So I think they are looking a lot into prefabrication, and we are working on some of it as well. And this will then bring down costs, where trusses, right? Trusses and parts of a building are prefabricated cleanly, accurately in a factory, and then brought to site and clipped together. So, Pak Dadan, this will help reduce the cost a lot. And then you can see standardization. You can even go out and buy a bamboo truss and clip it onto your brick underframe, right? That can happen eventually.
And Dadan also have another, a second question for you. Somehow,
Wow.
because building codes in Indonesia is loose, bamboo construction is quite freely formed. I heard in South America, okay, so I forgot which country, the standard is so strict that the design has to be altered totally. How to deal with that? Thanks.
Yeah, that's Colombia. Colombia and I think Guatemala has got their own bamboo standards. So has India. Standards are formed to make sure there's safety, right, and compliance. Safety and compliance sometimes restricts design. We as designers have to find ways to not get around it, but to comply and still fight and make our buildings beautiful. If you can do that, then you're a successful designer, which you are, Dadan. It is how inventive you are and how much are we willing to push the boundaries to prove it. If our design doesn't comply, we prove it through engineering that it does. or through some other method of precedent that it does comply, then I think we can push for more beautiful organic designs. Do not box bamboo in. That's one of the things I always like to say, right? Do not think square, box, right angles when you work with bamboo, right? Once you think that, you're really constrained and narrowed down. Think organic, think curves. At least go that way first before you come and start drawing boxes for bamboo design, especially for you in the competition, right? If you're drawing boxes, you're drawing straight lines using your protractor and your set square, throw it all away. Sketch. Let the bamboo do the talking.
True. Okay. So, Norena, thank you for your answer. And then we want to know, would you recommend CIDB to start this skill in bamboo construction for temporary affordable living?
No, I won't be able to answer that with authority. I'm afraid. Any initiative for bamboo is good, provided they do it in the right way. Refer to precedent, look at other examples before trying to do your own thing. But it's not something I can answer authoritatively. Sorry about that.
So I think we finished all the questions for you, Architect Eugene. And then a lot of thank you to you from the audience, from the floor. So I think, and we also at close to 9:40.
Yeah, so, it's nearly close to 12 here. It's close to midnight. Way past my bedtime.
Thank you so much. I think it is really, really our great honors having you tonight, and then especially you're actually spending your after working hours with us, and then some more close to 12, midnight. So
no issue. If it's for bamboo, I'll do it.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Architect
Thank
Eugene.
you.
So
Thank you.
Before, I think we would like to take a group photo with you before we close these sessions. Okay, so I would like to request everyone from the floor to open up your camera, so you can take a group photo with Architect Eugene.
Architect Bay, can you promote a bit about our next speaker?
Right.
This is going to be the last from our series.
Yes, please hang on a moment. So next week, we're going to have, yes, correct, the last series of our Bamboo Talk. So it will be presented by IR Dr. Law Kao Sai and also Hua Jie Teo. Topic on bamboo for heavy civil engineering constructions on next Friday, 20th of August from 8 to 9:30 p.m. Okay, so all feel free to join these talks from two of the experts. All right, so shall we? Okay, hello everyone. Okay, open up the camera.
Adrianta, can you open up your camera?
Okay, Adrianta, and then
you can see my face over there. Well, before that, on behalf of PAM Education Committee, Eugene, I really appreciate your time. I know Melbourne now near to midnight. You can, thank you for your contributing your time, especially for the students. They inspired your talk today. Even I have to admit, I also inspiring your journey of your bamboo. I admire you. I admire your job. I following your blogs, and then I hope all the students, learn from Eugene today, and very grateful. Thank you so much, Eugene. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Go bamboo.
Yes, go bamboo. All right, everybody. So
okay.
smile.
One.
Okay, babe.
I will take the screenshot. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, one more. Okay, thank you very much, everyone,
Right.
for joining us. Thank you very much, Architect Eugene.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
No,
we keep in touch, Eugene. We keep in touch. Yeah.
Yes,
keep in touch.
for sure, for sure.
Be safe.
Take
Be
care.
well,
Thank
everybody.
Stay safe.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Good
Ciao.
good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.